All right, welcome back. Well, you know what day it is? It's the Sunday update for Texas OU football. Lots to talk about, but just want to thank everybody for watching the show on Wednesday. We had a great turnout. Uploaded it to YouTube channel, so go check it out. Had some great feedback. We had a lot of people talking about it, and I hope we have the same for today. But just to let you know, Dash of Life does have a channel. We're working on lots and lots of new content. So I hope you'll be signing up for that, checking it out. Right now we're sitting at 34 subscribers. So if you go check it out, subscribe. Once we hit 50, we're going to be doing a drawing for a $50 gift certificate or a gift card to Amazon. So go check it out, subscribe, check out some of the past episodes. We've got lots of your favorites up there. So go check it out. So today, I don't want to take up much of your time. I know it's Sunday. I know you want to enjoy your day. So we'll get going. We'll talk about it. Hopefully we'll get to hear some of your comments, your questions. Feel free to ask them anytime during the show or anytime after the show or whenever. I love to hear your comments and your take on what's going on. So without further ado, here we are. Made it official. OU and Texas are going to the SEC. They both were extended the invitation, and they both accepted it. The regents accepted it. They're ready to join. So the question now is not if, but when. When do you see OU and Texas joining the SEC? I know they have their contract through till 2025, but I've seen a lot of things going on there that, all they need to do is buy it out, and that's what I think. I think you can see the Big 12 either with new folks in next year in 2022, or the Big 12 is gone, because I think OU and Texas next season will be joining the SEC. They'll have their schedules and everything ready. I think it's already predetermined. I think a lot of this stuff is just legalese, if you will, to say the right things, to get the right words out there. But I think it's a done deal. Come 2022, you'll be seeing OU Texas in the SEC. Like I said, we already know that they've already been given the offer. They've already joined. And like I said on Wednesday night when I talked about this, I'm excited. I am happy for OU and Texas. I can't say that a whole lot of times about Texas because I'm not a huge Texas fan. I have a lot of friends that are Texas fans. So, but I'm happy for them, and I know that they're happy as well. I think this is just a step in the right direction for things to come. So I'd like to hear what your take or what your questions are. When do you think OU and Texas will join the SEC, or when they'll actually start, and when they leave the Big 12? We talked a little bit about on Wednesday. Where do you think the other teams will go? I don't know. I don't know if the Big 12 stays together. Do they pull from the AAC, which is the All-American Conference? Do they pull in a Memphis? Do they pull in a Cincinnati? I would like to see it. That's what I wanted to see, before all this was talked. That's what I wanted to see when the Big 12 broke up the first time. I wanted to see them bring other teams in. Is that still a chance? Is that an opportunity? What you think we'll see? Let me know in the comments what you think. But to get down to it, man, I'm just excited to see what's going to happen. We talked about it on Wednesday. Sure, OU and Texas could go in and get humiliated in their first season. I get it, but nobody, and I don't care how big a fan you are on the SEC side or the Alabamas or the Georgias or whatever, you just never know. Any given Saturday, we've said it, or any team can beat any team on any given day. Nobody can predict how they're going to do. At least I feel I don't have that say, but I really think they'll do good. I think they'll go in and compete right away. Given a side, you got Steve Sarkisian. I'll never say his name right. The Sark on for Texas's coach. He's got time in the SEC. That's probably a plus for them. And again, with them going to a different conference, I think that raises the bar on not only recruiting, but it's going to just, now any city that you go to with OU and Texas coming in, it's just that much more money. We all know it's money. We all know it's about money. But if you're like a lot of my friends and fans, I know you want to see the Georgias, the Alabamas, the Floridas, the the Kentuckys, whatever the case may be. Kentucky for basketball, you want to see them come into Norman. You want to see that because it's just going to be better for the town. It's going to be better all around for the state. And now I know that a lot of my Okie State fans are upset, and rightfully so. I get it, but now it's your time to shine. Here's your chance to go out on a note as in your own conference and to shine for yourself. Nothing against Okie State. I think they're great. I think they'll do wonderful no matter where they go. And yes, you guys got all these other sports that you're great in, but as we know here in the great state of Oklahoma and the great state of Texas, football rules. We know it. Just about anywhere you go, football rules, and that's the decision that they made. But let me know in the comments below what you think is going to happen to Okie State. Do you think we still go with Bedlam? We talked about it on Wednesday as well. You still have Georgia Tech still play each other every year. Yeah, yes, long live the Big Eight. Yeah, Tracy, you're right, brother. You and I are the old school, the Big Eight, and I don't even know what to think when the Big 12 came along, and bringing in Texas A&M, and all them. That just really shocked me when that even happened. But I agree. I will always be a Big 8 fan, but I just conferences change, and who knows what we're going to see even a year down the road from now. But like I said, I still think you see Bedlam. I think you see Bedlam every year. They're even though as mad as Oklahoma State is, I don't think they can pass up on the money that the Bedlam brings in. And now, with them being in a different conference, it just makes Bedlam that much more Bedlam, don't you think? Don't you think that just probably adds a little bit more to the rivalry? Now there's going to be a lot more, just not only in-state rivals, but conference rivals now, or separate conference rivals. And there's going to be some hatred there. There's going to be, if there wasn't now, which there always has been, if there wasn't, there's going to be a lot more at stake in Bedlam now, right? You've got to think that, man, if we play Bedlam every year, we're going to be playing and just for bragging rights now are just going to be up high. Yeah, you're right. Money talks, Bedlam stays. You're absolutely correct. And they will. I agree. Absolutely, Tracy. Thanks for that comment. They are. It is. There's no way that they're going to pass up on Bedlam. And again, like I said, Georgia Tech still play each other every year. Florida State play each other every year. It's going to be a done deal. And if I'm wrong, again, I'll do whatever I have to do to prove, to live up to that. But I just think too big of a deal for OU and OSU to pass up on Bedlam and just let it go to waste. So I get it. There's grumblings. You're angry. You're upset that you didn't get to go with them. I don't know. I don't know why that is. If I was in the head office, I would probably give you a better answer. But I just don't know. I don't see, why that happened. So Oklahoma State's going to do just fine. They're going to land fine. They're going to find a good conference. Somebody's going to reach out to them, and they're going to be playing in a Power 4, Power 5, whatever they go to. They're going to be in a big conference, and they're going to land on their feet just fine, and they're going to do great, and they're going to compete. They always do. Whether it's football, whether it's wrestling, whether it's basketball, baseball, you name it, OSU is going to compete, and they're going to do good in whatever conference they go into. So I know we talk smack, and we say that Oklahoma State's going to go to 6A and play Jinx, which probably they would lose. I'm just kidding. I kid. But they're really going to do a great job no matter where they land. So, I think it's time to get past the anger and look forward to what's coming. Where do you see OSU going? Do you see it the Pac-12? Do you see the Big Ten? We talked about it on Wednesday. I'd still like to know what your comments are. Feel free to throw them down there. But now let's get into it. Who do you see? Now you've got OU and Texas in the SEC. Do you see a new rivalry with Arkansas? Texas A&M is going to be out there. We already know there's going to be a rehashed, reignited rivalry. But who does OU rivalry, or who's going to be OU's biggest rival now besides Texas in the SEC? Is it going to be an Arkansas? Is it going to be a Texas A&M? Is it going to be a Mizzou? What is your what do you think? What's your answer? Feel free to throw it down in the comments. Let me know, because I'd like to see what you think. Me personally, I want to see a border war with Arkansas. I think it's great. We've only played Arkansas a few times, and mostly in bowl games. I don't think we've ever had a non-conference scheduled game with Arkansas. We've played them in the bowl games, and so I would like to see a nice rivalry with Arkansas, and I'd like to see that Mizzou or Missouri rivalry back up. Man, there's some great games between Mizzou and OU there before they left. So I'm ready to see that. But like I said, I'm also ready to see the battles between Georgia. I'm ready to see. There was always this talk about, well, OU can't compete. I'm ready to see that. I'm ready for it to finally be answered one way or another. Either they will or they won't. But I want it answered, and I think this is the best way to do it. I want to see I am excited to go to Norman now to see a Georgia come in and to see an Alabama to come in, and just what the atmosphere will be like. Other than a bowl game, you actually get to see them down in Norman. You get to see them play up close, live and personal, instead of on TV, if that's where you've only seen them. It's going to be great. It's going to be great for the kids. It's going to be great for the state, both states, for the conference, you name it. It's going to be awesome. So that's my take on it. So I really am excited. Another big question that came up is, now with OU and Texas going to the SEC, where's the Red River rivalry? Are we going to see it in OU or Norman and Austin now? Is that what happens? Does it stay at Jerry's World? Or, does it go to Jerry's World? Does it stay in the Cotton Bowl? What happens? I don't know. I mean, was that exclusive to the Big 12? I don't know. But, do they do home and away now? It's going to be great. So that's what I want to know. That's the biggest question I have out there. Big Ten would be the best move for OSU. Yeah, I agree. I think wrestling wise, it's probably for wrestling and that, I think that's the best place for them to be. Football wise, hard to know, but wrestling, basketball, absolutely. Big Ten is a great spot for Oklahoma State. So thank you, Tracy. And I agree. Arkansas probably a few years out, but it's a way to start. But yeah, LSU, absolutely. LSU. Do you think LSU will stay in that division, or do you think they'll move, or who moves? So LSU rivalry. Yeah, and Tracy says every week will be a rivalry game. Man, I agree. I still don't know about Vanderbilt or Kentucky or some of those. Every once in a while those teams come up and can, pull a fast one on you and take one from you. So, yeah, I'd like to see an LSU rivalry. There's nothing against LSU personally, but I know a few people that I would like to rub that in their face every time we play them. And if we win, I'd like to rub it in their face. And that's just from a fan standpoint. I love my friends that are LSU fans, and nothing personally against them. It's just, it'd be no different than rubbing it into an Oklahoma State fan. But we were talking, where do you think does the Red River rivalry move? Does it stay in the Cotton Bowl? Does it become a product of Jerry's World, and that's where it is every year? That's some good questions out there. I hope to get some more, hopefully see some more on that. I know there's a lot of issues, and they're talking about it, and that's probably further down the road to come. But I don't know. Personally, I'd like to see a home and home. I'd like to see it in Norman, and I'd like to see it in Austin. Or maybe, home once in Norman, once in Austin, and then the Cotton Bowl or Jerry's World or wherever it is. That's the way I'd like to see it. Maybe just change it up every once in a while. It doesn't always have to be in the Cotton Bowl. I know that's tradition. You don't want to mess with tradition. But it wouldn't be any different than Ohio State playing Michigan home and away. I mean, it's still a great rivalry no matter where they play it. Whether it's neutral, whether it's home and away, whatever the case may be. I think I'd like to see alternating home, away, neutral. That's what I'd like to see. Um, so that's pretty much it for the update. As they keep coming in, I'll keep giving my opinion. I'm glad to hear what your guys' opinion are. Other things out there, I've heard rumor of them contacting, Ohio State and Michigan. Do you think that's a possibility in the future? Do you think more teams come into the SEC? Do they uh, pull away from the ACC? Do you see them pulling a Florida State? Do you see them pulling a Clemson? Me personally, I'd like to see North Carolina in the SEC. Um, y'all may, as a longtime OU fan, you may beat me up for this, but I am a Mac Brown fan. Even when he was coaching at Texas, I am a Mac Brown fan, and I love what he's done at North Carolina. I like the way he's turned that program around, and for me personally, I'd like to see North Carolina in the SEC. But that's just a dash opinion. I may be the only one in the world that wants that, but that's what I'd like to see. Do you see other teams coming in and do they go to 16? Do they go to 20? What do you think? I mean, there's only 118 teams in Division One. Do some drop? Do some stay up? We talked about it the other day with a buddy of mine named Ross. We talked about it. If they change that up, would you like to see a way where if you're doing good, you move up. If you're doing good, you move down. Someone made the excuse me. Someone made the argument for North Dakota State to come in and play in the Big 12. That's probably not a bad thing. They're better than some of the Power 5 conferences as it is. Jason says Cotton Bowl is a great atmosphere. Would hate to see it at Jerry World. I agree. I no problem. I didn't have any problem with the championship game at Jerry World. And I agree. Cotton Bowl is a great atmosphere. I love the State Fair. I love going there. I love seeing the game. But I just, like I said, it's some of the things that I've seen written by other sports writers and things like that. That there's a possibility, and I just wanted to throw that out there to see what some of your guys' take was on the chance of the Red River rivalry or the shootout or the shoodown or whatever they're going to call it from now on. I just want to know what some of your opinions are on that. But I honestly think, getting back on, honestly think that we're going to see 4 power conferences. I think you could see possibly up to 20 teams. Shoot, maybe even 22 teams. It's not far fetched. I mean, stranger things have happened, obviously. So I think we see this going towards 20, 22 teams in a conference. I think it's almost going to be NFL style, and I think you're gonna, I think this 12-team thing, if they move to that 12-team playoff, I think you see more teams in the playoff. I think you could see 16 teams later down the road. I think you see a larger playoff system down the road. So it'll be exciting. I know there's a lot more football coming. I know there's going to be a lot more breaking news probably within the next couple of weeks. There's still a lot of time before the start of the season. So again, just to kind of recap what we talked about. We know that OU and Texas are going to the SEC. It's a done deal. Question is, when do they go? When do you see them going? 2022, 2023, or do they stay until the contract's up? They don't do the buyout. Do they stay until 2025? Me personally, I think next year's the deal. I think they're done in 2022. You're going to see OU and Texas with SEC patches on their uniforms. We also talked about some of the conferences where they think they're going. I honestly think, and my buddy Tracy said it too, I do. I see them going to the Big Ten. I honestly see. I see it going. OUSU going to the Big Ten. Chris comes in and says it's all fun and games until a big school doesn't get their way. Yeah, we talked about it again, Chris. Like we talked about on Wednesday, it is all fun and games until it doesn't. I mean, and again, I don't wish any bad on any team that's left. I think that they're going to land on their feet. All of them are going to land on their feet. I don't think I don't think they go the way of Division II, like some people said. I don't think they're going to fall into the AAC. I think they're going to hit those Pac-12s. I think they're going to hit the Big Tens, and I think they're going to hit the the ACCs. I can't see it. There's too much wrapped up in those other schools and the sports that they played, besides football. There's too many good athletes and there's too many good sports that they're good at for them to fall to the wayside and to go to other smaller conferences. So, again, I think you're going to see them land on their feet. They're going to do good no matter where they go. Maybe in football they don't do as great at first, but basketball, baseball, softball, you name it, they're going to go in there. They're going to compete with those other schools, and it's going to be great to see. He said there's nothing. You're right, and there's no, and don't get me wrong, there is nothing wrong with the AAC. There's great teams in there. They're always going to send some. There's always 1 or 3, 4 or 5 teams that are always good out of the AAC, and you're right. You're right, Tracy. There is nothing wrong with it. I would like to see, like I said at the beginning of the show, I would like to see the Big 12 stay the Big 12, and they pull Tulsa. Tulsa would be a great one to pull over up in there. You got Memphis, you've got Cincinnati, you've got some of the other teams out there. I'm sorry, I just blanked for a minute. I'll remember some of the other teams that are UCF, things like that. Those teams are going to do great, and I hope they pull them over because I would love to see it. So no, I don't take anything away. If you're a Division I or just a college athlete, period, and you're playing college sports, there's nothing. I'm all for you. I am all for you because you're doing something that a lot of people can't do, and you're out there playing, and you're playing on Saturdays, and you're playing on the Thursdays, and you're playing in those bowl games. And I give a shout out to any player who has played in Division 1, 2, or 3 football. It's all the same to me. I get it. It's just the difference of how many people you got enrolled in your school. That's the difference in it. So there's great players all throughout, and I don't take anything away from any conference at all. I love, and if you're like me, who's a fan of college football, you love college football. That's what you like to see. Thank you, Tracy. Yeah, UCF, SMU. SMU is, after the death penalty, I think they're coming along. It took them a long time, but they're finally making a stand. They're doing some great football down there. They're giving TCU and even Baylor, when they played them, and giving them some run for their money. So, I'm glad to see that's happening. And again, like I said, I am a huge college football fan. I will sit and watch every football game I can possibly watch on TV, as long as the wife will let me. I'm just kidding. She lets me watch football all the time. But so there's a lot still on board. Like I said, we'll have updates as they come along. I hope you'll join along with me on these shows. Please stay tuned till next Sunday. I've got my inaugural Dash of Sports top 10 college football teams. This is my pick. This is what I think. It's just opinionated. I wish I had a say-so in some of these polls and some of these votes, because there's some people I would like to tell them they're wrong. But this will be mine. Feel free to come in onto the show. Tell me if you agree, you disagree, if you have something that you would like to add to it. Please, that'll be next Sunday, 3 p.m., a Dash of Sports top 10 football list. So check that out next Sunday. I hope you'll be joining me. Again, please, if you haven't subscribed to the Dash of Life YouTube channel, go out there, subscribe to it. Once we get to 50 subscribers, we're going to do a drawing for a $50 Amazon card. So, help me help the channel. I love all your feedback. It was great having the interaction today. Great to see my buddy. Well, I didn't get to see him, but at least I get to see him following along with me. Great to see my buddy Tracy. Always a pleasure getting to hear from you, brother. So thank you for coming out and watching the show. This will be uploaded to my YouTube channel tomorrow. So if you want to share this out with friends who didn't get to see it today, feel free to share it out. It's fun to sit here and talk. I get nervous and I get scared when I'm out here talking about this, because I at least want to sound like what I know what I'm talking about. But you guys make it fun to do this, and I appreciate every one of you. So for the football show, unless I need to throw an update out there. You're going to start seeing football shows every Sunday, at least during college football time, and we'll see how it goes from there. So from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate every one of you. Go, Tracy, go have fun fishing, brother. Enjoy it. We need to go fishing? Absolutely. I don't know if you were telling me we need to or that you're going to, but either way, I'm down for it. So enjoy your Sunday. Sorry to take the time out of your Sunday, but thank you for taking your time out to be with me. I love every one of you guys. Have a great day, and I'll see you Sunday.